all the things. Anyhow, happy Friday, whatever day it is, the 7th. We're going to get our warm-up going on, one set of each thing, so it'll feel kind of slow. Circuit 1 is going to be more of the high-intense thing we got to get ready for. 10 regular squats, you've done that literally a million times. Hips, glutes, eyes, thighs, mobility of hips, knees, ankles, hamstrings, glutes, quad activation. 10 regular squats, rhythm and slow, going with your 10 stationary reverse lunges, elongating and load, and then that's going to go with our 10 standing scissors, and I want you to think even longer. So today's warm-up, I want to kind of put some other words in your head, and you're only going to do each of those once. 10 regular squats, slow, 10 stationary reverse lunges, long and loading, and then your 10 standing scissors, even longer. So that's what I want you to think about as you do this first 3, and of course I know you're already in it. 10 regular squats, you probably won't do again today. 10 stationary reverse lunges, you might do again today. 10 standing scissors, you more than likely won't do again today, but you're thinking about the mobility, the slow, the loading, the lengthening on all those things. Of course, it's only 30 total reps, and we have done it before. Part 2, and of course I'm not saying you should be there. Part 2, 10 wide squats. That is our flexibility squat. The muscles tend to lengthen more, and the muscles is your hamstrings and your glutes and your hip muscles. 10 wide squats. You're going to do your superset, your combo of 10 alternating, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. So there's your 10 wide squats slowly. There's your 10 longer, lengthening, alternating, stiff-legged deadlifts. And then you have your 10 standing runners, and you're thinking mobility. Okay, so part 2, 10 wide squats. You have the option of doing these later on. 10 stiff-legged deadlifts, alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. You have the option of doing these later on. And your 10 standing runners, you more than likely won't do these again. Okay? So, you got your flexibility. You've got your long, lengthening, loaded. We have those 3 L's on Wednesday. We talk about lengthening the longer, loaded muscle. Of course, if I get that recorded. Yeah. Busy week. Right, part 2, 10 wide squats, 10 alternating stiff-legged deadlifts, and 10 standing runners. You've got mobility, hips, knees, ankles, spine, and then a lot of people finally feel that warm, flushed feeling on the 10 standing runners. And again, hopefully I'm trying to be a little bit ahead of you. Part 3, 10 narrow squats. There's your mobility squat, like your standing runners was mobility. 10 narrow squats. You have your 10 alternating lateral lunges, and there's your longer lengthening component. And then you're going to have your 10 Jack LaLannes, which I want you to think about dynamic stretching. And that again is a long lengthening, but I do want you to think about stretching more than lengthening, which I know sounds similar. Lengthening in my terminology and the world's terminology, the fitness world, is that you have contraction of a muscle and you're lengthening that contracted muscle. Whereas stretching, you're lengthening a relaxed muscle. So, similar but different. Part 3, 10 narrow squats, 10 alternating stationary lateral lunges, and then you have your 10 Jack LaLannes. We're not quite done yet. We're going to turn the volume up a little bit and finish up the warm-up with 50 more movements. And then we'll go to our first circuit, which is probably going to be known as the hardest circuit. Again, 10 narrow squats, mobility, 10 stationary alternating lateral lunges. Yeah, this is the lengthening loaded component. And the 10 Jack LaLannes is your dynamic stretching. More than one joint moving, more than one muscle stretching. When you do get to the last 5 parts, I'm going to turn the dial up a little bit. I didn't say go fast. You've got 10 agility, which is high knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks, right? The quicker ones. You got 10 plyometrics, jump, squat, split, jumps, burpees, lateral bench hops. You can do pulsating squats. The bigger ones, then you have your 10 ab scissors, your 10 ab runners, and your 10 prone core swimmers. So the last 5 parts, let's turn the dial up. 10 agility, right? Quicker, quieter, smoother. I didn't say easier. 10 plyometric, jump, squat, split, jump, burpee. Again, you can do pulsating squats if you need to. You're thinking bigger, harder, louder. And then 10 ab scissors, 10 ab runners, 10 prone core swimmers. Breathe and focus. Again, on the ab scissors, legs straight, arms straight, torque, leverage, don't create momentum or power. Abs are pulling up your upper body and one leg at a time. 10 ab runners. Remember, you can start from the down, supported, contracted, concentric exercises. You can start from the down, unsupported, so your legs can hover off the ground slowly. Or you can start from the up and focus on the eccentric contraction. Again, still slowly. Runners is elbows to knees. Take your time. And then your 10 prone swimmers. Prone swimmers, you can be on your hands and knees, or prone swimmers, you can lay on your stomach, upper back, middle back, lower back, glutes. Breathe, mobility of spine and hips. Joints are moving, muscles are working. And that'll be the end of the warm-up. Plenty of work coming your way. As you do finish off the warm-up, you need to get your space ready for iso quads, and that's where you're either sitting on a bench or ground. Maybe you have ankle weights, maybe you have a dumbbell or medicine ball you're gonna hold at your feet, and of course this is recorded. If you're doing this at a gym, you can do the quad machine if you want. The iso quads is a position and an exercise, a movement. Our combo, I'm gonna be timing. So we do wanna stay together this circuit. I'm not too worried about the iso quads, except for the getting up and getting down position, and if you're holding weight between your feet or not. Your combo, I'm gonna let you decide between cardio, which if you have a bike, if you have an erg, my Airdyne and erg are right between the quad machine. You can run, row, bike, scream, yell, cardio. You can do exertion if you want to do timed exertion. You can do wall sits. Ooh. You can do pulsating squats. So the combo, I do leave it up to you between cardio, exertion, it's all timed, wall sits, pulsating squats, those types of things. Okay? I know you're ready to get to work. Your iso quads is going to be a pyramid. 10, 20, 30, 20, 10. Your timed exertion or cardio or isometric pulsating exercise is always 2 minutes. And you can diversify. If you choose to do the cardio for a set or two. If you choose to do the wall sit, you can mix them up, right? Let's go. 10 iso quads. Remember, iso quads is a position. You're sitting on your bum. It's kind of that Russian twist position. You're not doing V-ups. You're kicking your legs out in front. You're straightening your legs. You're bending your legs. But I always tell people, you can hold what you're sitting on, or you can hold your legs up, or don't hold anything at all. 10. In 5 seconds, I'm going to start the timer. You can either do 2-minute formal cardio, 2 minutes of exertion. You can do wall sits or pulsating squats. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now, I know Mama D has a bike. I know Deborah has an erg. I think you have an elliptical too. If you want to do formal cardio, awesome. If you want to do exertions, you've got agility-based items. You got plyometric-based items. You've got your mobility-based items. You know, at the gym, if people wanted to, they could have done rope slams and ball slams and sledgehammers, right? There's other exertions. That's why I'm talking like this. You could do wall sits. I got to clean up my board. I'm not going to sit against the wall. You can do wall sits. You can do pulsating squats. So circuit 1 is labeled quads cardio or quads killer because it's going to be very quadsy. It's going to be very legsy. It's going to be very intense and very hard. Deal? If you want to use your own time on your own cardio, that's fine. Your iso quads are going to be 10, 20, 30, 20, 10 pyramid. Don't do them too fast, but your timed cardio or exertion or wall sit or pulsating squat is always 2 minutes. And again, at the gym, we have the quad machine. We have the erg, the bike, the arcs. They're all next to each other. So you just crush your quads and your legs and your cardio and your soul. So circuit 1, plenty of quads. I don't want to say legs, but plenty of work, plenty of exertion. You've got 13 seconds. Remember, if you are using your own time on the machines, cool. 5, 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. Now, what I don't want you to do is jump to the floor and start doing your quads. That's not the intent. However, the next thing is your iso quads, or again, if you're at the gym, you have the quad extension machine. I do want that heart rate to climb. I want you to build it, break it, build it, break it, build it, break it, okay? 20 iso quads. I'm gonna give everybody about 45 seconds to a minute to get these done, and then I'll start the next time. But ladies, you're at home, and if you're using your cardio tools, you are more than welcome to use that time. If you're gonna use the timer with me, awesome. On your iso quads, you either have ankle weights on, or you're gonna hold a dumbbell or a medicine ball between your feet. And again, the recorded version, if you were at the gym, you've got the quad machine. I really didn't want other quad focus exercises, but if you really want to do narrow squats and low and narrow leg presses and stationary forward lunges, you can, but that wasn't really the idea. I'm going to give you 10 seconds and we're going to be on the next 2 minutes. Again, that's if you want to follow my rhythm and time. If you have your own cardio tools or own timer, please do. Alrighty, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. 2 minutes. You can do high knees, butt kicks, jumping jacks, split jumps, jump squats, lateral bench hops, pulsating squats, wall sits, sledgehammer, rope slams. I want a level of intensity. But at the gym, again, I've nudged people a little bit to do the erging, the biking. You have the arc trainer, those are going to yield more quads. I don't mind the treadmill either. I don't mind the stair climber either. But I'm also looking for efficiency and getting that on and off the tools safely. Round 2, the 20 iso quads. And it's always 2 minutes of formal cardio or exertion. If you are within earshot, this circuit's happening, minimal changes. The next circuit is going to be hamstrings focused. We're going to get some glutes and we're going to have our abs core. So the next circuit has a lower level of intensity as you do your hamstrings, your glutes, your abs, your core. A little pace, a little intensity, a little focus, a lot of work. It's Friday. It's a birthday. It's a Mother's Day weekend. You got 20 seconds. A level of pace, level of work. Those quads, I want them smoking. We're going to be doing the peak of the pyramid soon, so those quads are going to be on fire. 3, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. Again, if you are using your own timer, awesome. Make sure you're completing the 2 minutes. Don't jump to the floor or jump on your machine. But the next thing is your 30 peak of the pyramid iso quads. I'm going to give you guys about a minute and a half to get that done. Ready, set, go. Now, you've done 4 total minutes of cardio or exertion. You've already done a 10 and a 20 on your quads, and here you are on the 30, and they better be burning. That is the ultimate idea. Heart rate goes up, burn your quads. Heart rate goes up, burn your quads. It's that little ladder effect, and then hopefully it's a very high level intensity circuit. Then we'll bring it down a little bit on the next circuit. In iso quads, the position. Iso refers to isometric exercise. So my abs and core are in the isometric position. Even your anterior hips, right? You're in that one spot, a non-moving contraction, and that's the second greatest force you can put on a muscle. Every muscle has a isometric exercise associated, and it's normally in the midway point or the halfway point. It's like a bicep curl, you'd hold it at 90 degrees. A pull up or a lat pull down, you'd hold it at 9 degrees or halfway up. Everything has an isometric position. And really you could do a hold in any position, but it's designed to be in the halfway or midway point. You guys got about 10 more seconds to finish your iso quads for 30. And again, if you're on a quad machine and you're doing this recorded, you might have a different ultimate pace because of what you're doing. But we are going to start the next 2-minute exertion in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Remember, you can do formal cardio. If you have the tools and you want to shut off your brain a little bit, you can get on that cardio machine and pound it out. If you don't have the tools, you can run around the house, run up and down your stairs, run to the mailbox and back. You can bear crawl to the mailbox and back, right? You don't have to be on your feet. You can be on your hands and your feet. Jumps, squats, split, jumps, burpees, bench taps, lateral bench hops. At the beginning of the circuit, I talked about the wall sits. I haven't seen any at the gym, and I don't imagine many are happening at home, but the wall sit would be a superset of quad-focused legs and quad machines, so your quads and legs be on fire. Pulsating squats gives you that little bit of movement that maybe you need without the impact. But again, I'm looking for that heart rate to go up, 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 and going with your quads burning, burning, and burning. Just keep that level of intensity up. The next circuit is hamstring, glute, abs, core. And the third and final circuit is calves and upper body. So we are working our lower body for the most part of the day, but I also don't want to say legs either. You will have leg exercise options, but they could also be focused on just your hamstrings and just your glutes and quads. 15 seconds. Three, 2, 1, relax and breathe. And again, if you're with me on the time, awesome. Take your time getting on the ground or on the bench or on your quad machine. If you're not with me, again, don't be racing back and forth between the two. However, we're cruising right along. Round 4, remember, it's minimal change. It's meant to be a mindless, hard-working, burning circuit. You got your 20 iso quads. You're gonna have that 4th set of your cardio. So very long, tedious circuit. And the next circuit will be basically the opposite. We're gonna decrease the intensity. We'll do our hamstrings and our glutes and our abs and our core. Round 4, 20 iso quads. I'll give you about another 30 to 40 seconds. I'm giving you about a minute when you do your 20 on your iso quads. Again, the position. Maybe you have ankle weights on. Maybe you're holding a dumbbell. Maybe you're holding a medicine ball between your feet. Maybe you're on the ground. Maybe you're on the bench. And of course, maybe you're sitting on a quad machine and you have a 45-pound plate. And so you're gonna have a different load potential, which is gonna burn more, which will naturally slow you down. After the 20 iso quads, set 4, we're gonna do our 2-minute exertion or cardio or wall sit, coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. You got your 2 minutes again. Now again, hopefully you're right on track with me on the timing. If you use your own timer, awesome. Hopefully we're somewhat close to each other. And again, for those that do this recorded, maybe you had to push pause, or maybe you know what to do on the quad machine, you're able to get on the cardio tool and get it done. 2 minutes. Agility is high knees, and butt kicks, and jumping jacks, and bench taps, and mountain climbers, and ski hops. Plyometrics or jump squats. You got your lateral bench hops, your split jumps. If you're wearing ankle weights, most of these are not going to sound good or even really good for you. So I didn't really talk about plyometrics too much. Burpees. Of course, again, if you've got the gym, you've got rope slams and ball slams and sledgehammers and those harder upper body powerful exercises. Again, mobility is great, but if you have ankle weights on, standing scissors, standing runners aren't going to feel the best. Of course, you have ankle weights on and you're jumping on an erg or a bike, just be careful getting in and out of your machine. That's why I didn't talk about the treadmill, running. Again, the arc trainer is somewhat safe too. "25 seconds is set 4 of our 5 sets. We have 3 circuits today. Monday you had 7 circuits. Wednesday you had 3 main circuits. And today you have 3 circuits as well. 3, 2, 1, and relax and breathe. Pat yourself on the back. You're 1 step away from being done. You've got your last 10 iso quads. And yes, thankfully you have 1 more set of 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to get those iso quads done. We'll have the 1 more 2-minute exertion cardio isometric thing to do. And then we'll switch gears, we'll decrease tempo, pace, intensity level. I didn't say easier, just said it's going to be different. Give about 10 more seconds, we're going to start that last 2-minute mark. Remember, the duration of the exercise is directly associated to you. What do you have on your feet or between your feet? What are you sitting on? Lots of little changes. But you're starting your last 2 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. You've got your 2 minutes. Again, at the gym, strong majority to the erg. I would love to say rowing machine, but it's not correct, right, Deborah? You got the Airdyne. Both those have a power component with your arms and your legs and your body and your soul. but they also keep those quads cooking. The Arc Trainer is the other less impact version. Stair climber is great, but I want efficiency. 2 minutes. You can run.
Yeah, the brain thing going on.
What's going on here?
That's weird.
What's your incline? What incline are you at?
I'm on 60.
Incline.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. 6.
Bring it down to like 4 or 5.
Okay.
It depends if you are using the left to pull the leg up,
Yeah.
or if you're using the right to push. So
Okay.
try to push more than pull it up. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So don't use a toe thing to pull. Try to push with your butt.
Am I
20. There's 30, 30, 20, 20, 10, 10. And there's, yeah, there's 30, 30. Sorry, 20, 20, 20, yeah. 6 total 20s, right? Yeah, and then you have chest, back, shoulder, biceps, tries. 15 seconds. You'll be end of this circuit. 3, 2, 1, and relax and breathe. Again, if you have ankle weights on, you can pop off those ankle weights. You can take a big deep breath, grab a sip of water. I want to talk about those hamstrings and glutes. That'll give you enough time to settle into it. Our hamstring glutes. When I say non-alternating hamstring glutes, I'm referring to either stiff-legged RDLs, that's the both hands, both legs. You can do hip bridges, you can do hamstring curls, but you need the tool to either slide or roll or the machine. So non-alternating legs are stiff-legged RDLs, hamstring curls, and hip bridges. When I say alternating hamstring glutes, you've got stationary reverse lunges, walking forward lunges, and alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. We're going to go through all of them here soon. There's a certain rhythm, and there's lots of hard work coming your way. When you're ready, 30 total non-alternating hamstring glutes. So you can do stiff-legged deadlifts, RDLs, you can do hip bridges, hamstring curls. 30 on your non-alternating legs, and then you're gonna do 50 on any big, hard, challenging ab. Sit-ups, reverse crunches, and V-ups, slow scissors, slow runners, windshield wipers. I'm looking for a little time under tension. So round 1 is the longest round. 30 total non-alternating hamstring glutes, and then 50 on your bigger, harder, slower abs. Your abs are going to eventually be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. So you're going to eventually do 150 abs. We're going to change the hamstring glutes a little bit throughout the circuit. Okay? So 30, either hip bridge and or hamstring curl and or stiff-legged RDL. At the gym, you've got the bar for stiff-legged RDLs. You got kettlebells, singular, plural. You've got stability ball. You've got a hamstring curl machine. So there's potentially other tools. If you're on the ground for hip bridges and hamstring curls, you at least get to stay on the ground for your 50, 5, 0, harder, bigger abs like sit-ups, reverse crunches, V-ups, slow scissors, slow runners, windshield wipers. I would even say if you want to do slower Russian twist, you can. That's more of a core, right? So circuit 1 is going to be the longest, biggest numeric round. Round 1 of circuit 2. Round 2 will be just a little bit shorter. So earlier, your quads, that is a pushing exercise, quad extensions. And of course, narrow squats and other ones, stationary forward lunges, those are all pushing quad-focused exercises, which we did earlier this week. When you do hamstring glute exercises, for the most part, they're all going to be pulling exercises. So hip bridges, hamstring curls, stiff-legged RDLs. Of course, there are other ones coming soon. We do use the wide squats and high and wide leg presses as well, but not today. Same with the GHD. We do use it, but not today. The 50 abs, sit-ups, whether you're laying down on the ground ball bench, legs straight, knees bent, feet wide, feet narrow. There's lots of little changes on the sit-ups. Reverse crunches, there are a couple changes. You can lay on the ground or bench. Your legs can be perfectly straight or slightly bent, but don't bend and straighten your legs. You can have your legs crossed. You can have your hands under your buns to help out your back. You can have the isometric crunch position. V-ups, kind of the same thing. You can be on the ground or bench. It can be really, really, really big, perfect V-ups. It can be still big, less V-ups, more U-ups. Round 1, 30 total non-alternating hamstring glutes, 50 on your abs. Round 2, 30 total alternating hamstring glutes. Again, stationary reverse lunges, please have some load. Walking forward lunges, please try to have some load. Alternating, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. Again, please have some load. Round 2 is 30 alternating hamstring glute legs. Excuse me, the yawns. Friday, it's Friday. And then 40 on your abs. Sit-ups, reverse crunches, V-ups, toe touches, slow scissors, slow runners, windshield wipers, anything big, anything slow. 30 total alternating hamstring glutes. 40 on the abs, so it's just a little bit shorter. And then of course the next couple rounds really digress in duration of exercise. Of course I know what time it is, I know what you're doing. The third and final circuit is a little bit quicker, so I'm not too worried about not getting it done. Got the Friday mushy brain. Again, round 2, 30 total alternating, either stationary reverse lunges, stiff-legged deadlifts, or walking forward lunges. 40 on your bigger, harder, more challenging abs. I don't want you to be done with that yet. You should not be done with that yet. But when you do get there, your non-alternating hamstring glutes, they're going to be 20 instead of 30, so they went down. That's great. And then you're going to do 30 on your abs. So round 3 and 4 are shorter, and then the last round, the 5th round, is a combo round, you'll see. So it's going to get quicker. When you get there, I'm not saying you should be there, round 3 is 20 non-alternating hamstring glutes, hip bridge, hamstring curl, stiff-legged RDL. If you really, 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 really want to do wide squats, you can. And then you'll do 30 on your bigger, harder, more invasive abs. Remember, this circuit was supposed to be a little less intense cardiovascular than it was from the last circuit. And it's say easy, you got abs, hamstring, glutes, breathing, posture. round 3, 20 either hip bridge or hamstring curl or stiff-legged RDL. 30 on the bigger, harder, more challenging abs. It's gonna start getting quicker. That means we need to make sure we focus on time under tension, controlling the tempo. The benefit of the hip bridge, hamstring curl, ab combos, you can stay on the ground. You do only have to get off the ground for the alternating legs when you do them, and the stiff-legged RDL if you choose to do that one. Round 3 was 20 non-alternating hamstring glutes. 30 on the bigger, harder, more focused abs. I'm not saying you should be there, but round 4 is going to be 20 on your alternating hamstring glutes. So those went down a little bit too. 20 on your alternating hamstring glutes, 20 on your abs. We're getting down there. We're going to have a little transition round coming up soon, and that means we're going to end this circuit and we're going to turn the dial up for one more circuit. The last circuit is the quickest circuit. I would say intensity and tempo are higher than this circuit, but it's not nearly as hard as that first circuit. And of course, I'm going to give adjustments for non-upper body exercises. Round 4, 20 non-alternating hamstring glutes, either walking forward lunge, stationary reverse lunge, alternating stiff-legged deadlifts, and then 20 on the bigger, harder, more invasive abs. All I ask is you maintain motion, control that tempo, time under tension, elongate your muscle, contract your muscle. Every single concentric motion exercise all has an elongation phase. Some are longer than others. They all have a shortening contraction phase. Some are more burning than others. Eccentric exercises, we don't formally do a lot of those, but that really focuses on the elongation part. And the isometric, the non-moving contraction, has neither shortening or lengthening. You're going to be in the halfway, midway point of a motion. Alrighty, here comes the transition round. You've got the 20 on the alternating hamstring glute, 20 on your abs. Round 5 is 10 of each. 10 on your non-alternating hamstring glute, 10 on your ab, and 10 on your alternating hamstring glute. And then I'll talk about the 60 calves you're gonna do. So the transition round is 10 non-alternating hamstring glutes, like hip bridges, hamstring curls, stiff-legged RDLs, 10 on your abs, 10 on your stationary reverse lunge or walking forward lunge or alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. And then we're going to do 60 calves, and I'll talk about that here soon, as the calves are going to be the most numerically with our upper body or stretching. We're going to either take time to stretch, or we're going to finish off with some light upper body. Deborah, we had a ton of upper body between last Friday and Monday and Wednesday. And today I was trying to do less upper body, but a little bit of a finish. And Mama D has a bummer arm, so she's going to be stretching to finish off this last circuit. Anyhow, Last part, 10 non-alternating hamstring glutes, 10 on the bigger, harder abs, 10 on the alternating hamstring glutes, and then you're gonna do 60 calves. Your calves, you can do legs straight, we can do wall sit calves. Of course, at the gym, we've got seated calf machine. Your feet can be regular, shoulder width apart, narrower, wider, toes out, toes in. You can be standing flat on the ground. You can stand on the edge of the box or 2x4 or stair. Your calves are one of the smallest motions in the gym, so don't go fast, but it's a small motion. So it's gonna be 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. So a little bit more than those abs. And then your upper body is gonna be 25 chest, 25 back, 25 shoulders, bis, tries. One time, one set each. Or Mama D, I would like you to stretch one thing. And if I had a box here, right, you would stretch your hamstring, left hamstring round one for like 45 seconds. Stretch your right hamstring round two for like 45 seconds. Stretch your right quad and hip flexor for like 45 seconds. So you're just gonna stretch a little bit between each set, and that way you're not using one arm and you're not hurting either arm, okay? So the last circuit is calves, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You could change your feet width. You could change what you're standing on. You could do toes out, toes in. You could have weights or not. There's lots of little adjustments on your calves. Deborah, I would like 25 chest round one. Chest presses preferred or push-ups. 25 back round two. You could do either. 25 shoulders. Remember, you could do any shoulders, pushing or pulling. 25 biceps is round four. 25 triceps is round five. And after the 10 calves, your workout is done. Okay? So the final circuit, calves, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. One set of 25 reps of each muscle group in between, unless you need to stretch. And I would like you to pick one thing and stretch it for 45 seconds. It doesn't have to just be lower body. You could stretch your triceps, right? You could stretch your chest, shoulders against the wall or doorway. You could stretch your neck and shoulders. You can stretch your hamstrings. You can lay on the ground and stretch your posterior hips and your glutes, but then you're just going to be getting on and off the ground a couple times. So this final circuit can wear a lot of hats. At the gym, we did dumbbell incline, we did narrow grip lats. I gave everybody a choice on shoulders because we've done a lot of up body this week, biceps and triceps. So a little rhythm, a little pace, a little zest, a little work to finish off your day. And again, ladies, I know you're doing it. You've got your 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 on your calves. Play around with your feet. Play around with your weight. You've got your one set of chest, 25 round one. One set of back round two, shoulders round three, biceps round four, triceps round five. When the 10 calves are done, you are done.